Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 152. Please turn to it. Page number 152, and today is our lesson number 253. Problem number 6 is what we are about to do. Problem number 6 deals with the notion of percentage. It's a percentage problem. It deals with the notion of percentages. If you're interested in having some more practice on percentage problem, here are some more videos that you can watch. Even though it's a different exam, but it doesn't matter. Math is math. You understand? Percentage problems are percentage problems. Here's a tag. Just look for revised GRE math. Revised GRE math, and day 84 through 93. There are 10 videos there that you can watch to get some more practice on the percentage problem. Let's do this one. Here we are told that we have a reservoir where the water level has gone up from 124 to 138 as a result of the rainstorm. We just had a rainstorm, and the water level has gone up from 124 to 138. We are further told that 138, the new level, actually represents 82% of the capacity. The question is very straightforward, very simple. The question is, what was the approximate shortfall before the rainfall? You understand? Not what is the shortfall now. What was the shortfall before it rained? Let's find out, shall we? Now, before we worry about the shortfall, the very first thing, of course, we have to figure out is what is the capacity of the reservoir. Let's find out. How are we going to go about doing that? How are we going to figure out the capacity of the reservoir? Well, by using this information. We are told that 138 represents 82% of the capacity. Let's translate this sentence into an equation. 138 represents means equals 82% means over 100 of means times capacity. Bring the 100 on the top here, bring the 82 on the bottom here. What we find is that the capacity is equal to 138 over times 100 over 82. Now this is the exact value of the capacity. We're not looking for the exact value. There is a reason why this is approximately, because whenever they use the word approximate, that's their way of saying that if you sit down and insist on, if you're hell-bent on doing the precise calculation, it will end up taking you an inordinate amount of time. It will end up taking you excessive amount of time. It will become very tedious, very hellish. Let's approximate, shall we? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. So the capacity we're going to say is approximately equal to, we're going to convert this 138 into 140. And let's pretend that this 82 is 80. The rest is very simple. Let's divide top and bottom by 20. If we divide top and bottom by 20, 80 will become 4. There are 4 20s in 80, and 140 will become 7. We see a 4 on the bottom, we see 100 on the top. Let's divide top and bottom by 4. If we divide top and bottom by 4, the 4 will disappear and 100 will become 25. So what we end up is 25 times 7. 25 times 7. And how much is 25 times 7? Well, 25 times 8, of course, we know is 200. So 25 times 7 must be 175. It is 175. That's the capacity. The capacity is 175 approximately. Initial level that we started out with, we were told was 124. Let's pretend that it is 125, and therefore the shortfall that we're looking at is 50. Just look at the answer choices and pick one answer choice that comes closest to 50, and that's it. That's all there is. And you'll see that the only answer choice that comes closest to 50 is 44. 30 is too far away. The answer is E. The answer is E. Let's do a couple of more problems with percentages, shall we? Just for extra practice. Bonus problem, if you will. Percentage problems. Here's the problem for you. These are bonus problems. They're not in the book, that's what I'm trying to make you understand. 75% of 44 is same as 30% of what? Now what I would like you to do right now is to pause the video, solve the problem yourself, and then compare the work that you do yourself with the work that you and I will do in a few seconds together. Here's the problem. 75% of 44 is same as 30% of what? Pause the video and do it yourself. Okay? There we go. So again, the very first thing to do is to make sure that we come up with the right equation. That is the most important, most crucial step there, because if we don't have the right equation, everything that we do is for naught. 75%, percent means over 100, of means times, 44 is same as, that's your equal sign, 30% means over 100, of means times, and what is our unknown, that's our x. That's it, we're done. If we multiply both sides of the equation by 100, we can knock out this 100 right here. And x, 30 times x equals this quantity, therefore x equals our unknown, x equals 75 times 44 over 30. Let's simplify, shall we? Let's reduce it. I see a 30 here, I see a 75 here, they're both multiple of 5. Let's divide top and bottom by 5. How many 5s in a 30? 6 5s are 30. 6 5s make 30. And how many 5s in a 75? Let's find out. 7 has one 5. The remaining 2 goes and joins the 5, becomes 25. And 25 has 5 5s. There you go. Oh, we can go one more round with 3. Let's do one more round with 3. 6 will become 2 and this will become 5. And then we can do 44 and 2. 44 goes into 2 22 times. So it's 22 times 5. The answer is 5 times 22 or 110. The answer is 110. The unknown quantity is 110. Now what we're going to do at this point is to take a couple of seconds and quickly verify our answer. Okay? It only takes a few seconds to verify our answer. We can verify here if you like. We can verify right here if you like. We are told 3/4 of 44. You see 75%. 75% is 3/4. 3/4 of 44. How much is 3/4 of 44? Well, 3/4. 1/4 of 44 is 11 obviously. 3/4 is 33. You can see it right here. 3/4 is 33. 11 times 3. So this quantity, 33, 3/4, 75% of 44 or 3/4 of 44, this quantity here has to be same as 30% of this unknown that we just found, which we are claiming to be 110. This what part here is 110. So we have to figure out what 30% of 110 is, and that 30% of 110 better be the same as this quantity. Well, we know 10% of 110 is 11, of course. Therefore 30% is going to be 3 times as much. There you go. We get the same answer. It verifies. It works. It is the right answer. Let's do one more, shall we? Should we do one more? Let's do one more. I'll give you a second actually to get the unobstructed view. Let's do one more. Again, it's not in the book. 40% of 30% of what is 36. Now remember, we are solving for this part. The what part is the unknown part. That's what we are solving for. So whatever we find is the answer at the end, that quantity, whatever we find as the unknown quantity, that quantity has to go in this place, and the whole thing has to make sense. Do you understand? Let's set up the equation as before. So 40% means over 100. Of means times. 30% means over 100. Of means times. What is our unknown? Is means equals 36. There you go. This equation is correct. This equation is 100% correct, because we took our time. We translated one word at a time. That's the key. Translate one word at a time. Don't try to write down the entire equation in one shot. Do you understand? That's how we make mistakes. That's how we make careless mistakes. That's it. We're done. We just have to solve for x. Let's do it, shall we? So x is going to be equal to 36 times 100 plus 100 times 100. These two hundreds are going to end up on the top here, and then 30 times 40 is going to end up in the bottom here. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. We see two zeros here. Two zeros will knock out this 100. I see a 4 and a 100. Let's take out 4 with the 25. I see a 3 and a 36. Let's take out 3 with the 36. That's 1 and 2. So it's 12 times 25. 12 times 25. How much is 12 times 25? Well, we know 4 25s are 100. 8 25 will be 200, and 12 25 will be 300. Now let's take a couple of seconds to verify it. First, let's figure out 30% of 300. This watt part that we just found here is 300. The watt is 300. So let's first find out 30% of 300. 30% of 300. Well, we know 10% of 300 is 30. 10% is 30. Of course, everybody knows that 10% of 300 is 30, and therefore 30% is going to be 3 times as much, which is 90. So that part is done. We just figured out 30% of 300. Now we have to figure out 40% of this quantity. 40% of this quantity right here. 30% of 300 is 90. Now we have to figure out 40% of it. So again, 10% of 90 is going to be 9. And therefore 40% is going to be 4 times as much, which is 36, which is exactly what we're told here. It agrees. This is exactly what we have here. So what we found is 30%. What we have found is 40% of 30% of 300. 40% of 30% of 300 turns out to be 36, which is exactly what the problem says. So it is correct. Let's keep on moving to the next page, number 7. Number 7. Question number 7 is very silly, very simple question. We are given a parabola which looks something like this. This is 1, 1. We are told that when x is equal to half, y is 2. When x is half, y is 2. X is half, y is 2. Is it? Oh, it's not sitting at the 0, is it? No wonder I was getting weird things. It's not sitting at the origin. I wasn't paying attention. So let's start again. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is half, y is 2. When x is 2, is 0. This is our, what is known as the line of symmetry. And we also, as we can see there, it's a very silly question actually. When x is 3, y is 1. This is our parabola. And this line is called the line of symmetry. Let's see how the question is phrased actually in the book, because I think I made too much fuss about it. On the graph above, when x is equal to half, y is 2. Right here. When x is half, y is 2. When x is half, y is 2. And when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 1, y is 1 right here. The question simply is, the graph is symmetric with respect to the vertical axis at x equal to 2 right here. This is the line of symmetry. The equation of this line of symmetry is x is equal to 2. This is the line of symmetry. According to the graph, when x is equal to 3, how much is y? Well, it's very straightforward. When x is equal to 3, y is going to have the same value as when x was equal to 1 because of the fact that they are symmetrical. The parabola is symmetrical along the line of symmetry, which is x is equal to 2. So whatever we see on the left hand side of this line, x equal to 2, the right hand side is going to be the mirror image of it. It's going to happen here. The question was, when x is equal to 3, how much is y? When x is equal to 3, y is going to be 1. Same as this thing and this thing are symmetrical, these two. When x is 3, y is 1. That's it. As I said, it's very simple, very silly. Let's go on to the next one, number 8. Number 8. By the way, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about parabolas, just type in this tag geometry for GMAT, and watch these days. Day 35, 36, 41, 47, 51, 55, and 56. And all of these days, all of these 7 videos there, you will learn something about parabola if you are interested in getting a little bit more acquainted with the concept of parabola, even though it does not appear very often on the GMAT, but just in the event that if you are interested, the material is there to avail yourself if that's what you choose. Number 8. We are told that 1/10% of 5,000 is subtracted from 1/10 of 5,000. Well, we are subtracting this amount from this amount. So let's find out this amount first. 1/10 of 5,000, of course, is very simple. It's just 500, a tenth of 500. That was the easy part. Now we have to figure out the 1/10% of 5,000. That's where we have to take our time. That's where we have to slow down. So let's do it then. So we know 1/10 of 5,000 is 500, which is same as saying 10%. 10% of 5,000 is 500. Therefore, 1% of 5,000. 1% of 5,000, we just knock out 2 zeros. Here's our 5,000. If you're looking for 10%, we knock out 1 zero. If you're looking for 1%, we knock out 2 zeros. We take a tenth of that. That's 1%. 1% of 5,000 is 50. If 1% of 5,000 is 50, then 1/10. 1/10% of 5,000 will be a tenth of this amount, which is 5. So let's do now. So we're going to subtract. So 1/10 of 5,000 is 500, and from that we're going to subtract 1/10% of 5,000. 1/10% of 5,000 we just found out is 5. We subtract 5 from it and we get 495. The answer is 495. It's not a difficult question. It's just a little tricky question. So you just have to pay a little bit extra attention to the words. That's all. The wording is where people sometimes stumble. You just have to pay attention to the wordings in a question like this. As I said, it's not difficult, it's not tedious, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to pay attention to how the question is phrased. Pay attention to the wordings, as I said. Do you understand? I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.